12 months of Adobe Creative Cloud for free, and I'm drawing the winner using Adobe After Effects. I recently passed the 5,000 subscriber milestone. Thank you. Thank you. And to help me celebrate, the Adobe Community Experts program are sponsoring this giveaway. I'm going to get into the details of how you can enter in a moment, but before that, this being an After Effects tutorial channel, it seems only right that I use After Effects to randomly select the winner. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that later in this video. If you're not interested in entering, or you're watching this video after the closing date, use the chapter skip to see how to create your own random name picker. Let me say again how thrilled I've been by all your support over the years. This channel is a hobby for me, and while 5,000 subscribers might not seem as impressive as the big boys, it's huge for me. Shivering Cactus has given me a creative outlet and brought me into contact with some warm, generous people. I've set up a Google form, and while there's no CAPTCHA possible, I did find some advice on how to set up a form for fakey CAPTCHA. It's probably not AI proof, but it's all we've got. When you use Google for Forms, it creates a Google Sheet for the submissions, and this sheet can be exported as a CSV file, and these can be imported into After Effects. CSV files are the simplest spreadsheets. They contain no formatting, instead using commas to separate each cell and hidden line breaks to separate each row. When you add a CSV to your comp, it appears as a layer, but it has no transform properties. Instead, it has a data section, and when you expand that, you can see it contains sections which corresponds to the headers in the spreadsheet, which are the fields from the form. If I expand email address, for each row/entry, I have a numbered data property. Let's add a text layer by selecting the text tool and clicking into the comp window. Now, if I expand the text layer's properties, and then expand the text area, I see a source text property. I'll use its pick whip to select the top email address. And see how that has updated the text layer? Now that's pretty cool. Sort of. You can use CSV files to make it easier to import data for infographics, or if you're updating videos regularly, say for news headlines or calendar summaries, or for guest captions, that sort of thing. But if we now combine a CSV with the random function, we can have it randomly select an entry. The first thing we need to do is make a variable. In the source text expression area, keep the pick whipped text, but in front type 2 slashes. That comments out the code. Then above this line type var, new variable, my name equals random brackets 10. This will pick a random number between 0 and 10. If I now type my name underneath, see how the text now shows that number with lots of decimals. To fix that, in front of random add math.round brackets and change the closing bracket to after the random code, but before the semicolon. Math.round rounds the generated number to the nearest integer. Parseint and math.floor round down. .round seems fairer. Now delete the my name line and delete the 2 slashes. In our pick whipped expression, delete the 0 at the end of the line, in the quotes. Then outside the quote, add plus my name. This will now use the random number to select a random entry from the CSV. But watch what happens when I preview the comp. Yeah, it's changing on each frame. That's because expressions rerun each frame, unlike code in a web page which only runs on load. And it's still just picking from the first 10 options. Also, random isn't properly random, it uses a random seed to run, and it takes that from the layer's index. To make this less predictable, above the top line in the expression type var seed equals, use the pick whip to link to the number of rows property in the CSV layer. This includes the header row, so at the end add -1. Then on a new line type seed random with a capital R, brackets, and then inside the brackets add seed. And while we're at it, replace the random 10 with the same value. This way, the random factor is determined by the number of entries you get. Now, let's add a control to freeze the winner. There's a few ways to do this. By far the simplest is to split the layer. At the 5-second mark in the timeline, hold down Ctrl, Shift and D. And then edit the expression on the new layer. In seed random, after seed, add a comma and type timeless equals true. Or just true for short. This will stop the seed random running each frame and generate the same value. But what happens if you want to add extra things to the expression? In which case, delete everything in the second text layer and pick whip the source text property of the original text. Then add dot value at time, note the capital letters, brackets 5. This will pick the value of the original layer at the 5-second mark. Now all of the above is fine, but what if you wanted more info driven from the same picked number? In this comp I have a null layer with a slider control and I've added the random number expression to that. I now have the freedom to use this value for multiple text layers or expressions to drive everything from blurring the name to changing the color. The project is linked in the description below. Check out how I've written the expressions there, and check out CSV files for After Effects. You can use them for everything from movie credits to weather forecasts to even gender reveals. Thanks for watching, good luck in the competition, and I want to say a massive thank you to Sil and Carlos who manage the Adobe community experts. They made this sponsorship possible. I'll be posting on the community channel when the winner is drawn.